All right, everybody, this is the Enlightening Experts Crushing the Curse of Obscurity. Thank you so much for being here. If you see on your little component there a little question box so that you can enter a question or comment for us. So if you can hear my voice, if you would just go ahead and type in a Y to make sure that you can hear me. And to make sure that you can actually see my screen, I'll tap in a Y for me. Wonderful, wonderful. So how's everybody feeling today? It's been quite an interesting week here in Texas. We've had a lot of water. Some people are already entering in their dry. Well, congratulations. I know there are parts of the country that would desperately have some of this rain, or all of it even. So yeah, so thank you for your patience and rescheduling with us. The weather gremlins and the internet gremlins were stacked against us on Monday night, but here we are, we're up and running. So all right, well, we're going to just dive in here in just a moment. And I just want to say welcome to all the enlightening people, and especially all the enlightening experts and enlightening entrepreneurs that have shown up for our call today. So I'm just so thrilled to be here and have this opportunity to share a body of work that I've really been studying since 2006, so 10 years. And it's my intent that it really be able to help you take your next step up in your life and your work, whatever that may be, particularly if you have a desire to take whatever you're doing from your corner of the world and move it online, and to go bigger with your mission and go bigger with the impact that you have. So what do I mean by an enlightening expert? Who is an enlightening expert? It's a spiritual business owner who lives their life and runs their business with a core set of values, whether they're personal values, moral values, spiritual values, that are grounded in truth, integrity, and compassion. An enlightening expert is someone who is committed to doing well while doing good. And it's my experience that somebody who is really living, embodying these principles of truth, integrity, and compassion, and using those in every area of their life and their business, and especially in their marketing, uplifts everyone that they come into contact with. In their personal lives, particularly in their business, their clients, their customers, the people they do business with, their vendors, their subscribers. You have a way of uplifting people as you move through your life. So here are some examples of enlightening experts. Spiritual authors, movement therapists, dance teachers, yoga teachers, energy healers, life coaches, spiritual thought leaders, teachers, writers, soulmate coaches and advisors, martial artists, massage therapists, body workers of all kind, meditation teachers of all kind, musicians that work in the spiritual fields. I'm thinking of the many musicians who particularly work in the Hindu tradition. Entertainers, health food teachers and recipe book writers, raw food teachers and recipe book writers, law of attraction experts, personal trainers, physical fitness teachers, well-being teachers, helping to raise conscious children, midwives, acupuncturists, medicinal herbalists, aromatherapists, energy medicine practitioners of all kinds, Reiki masters, healers of all kinds, pet and animal therapists, pet and animal communicators, tarot card readers, hand analysts. It goes on and on. This is just a short list of people who are working in the spiritual corner of the world who have invested a tremendous amount of time and expertise to master what it is they do. And now they're ready to take that mastery to another level. So if you know, for those of you that are listening to the program, I'd like to hear if one of these is you, please enter it in. And if I've missed one, please enter it into the question box, and I'll be sure and add it to the list for next time. So if you're an enlightening expert, I'd love to know what kind of expertise that you bring to this. So just enter that into the question box for me. Thank you. So what we're going to cover today. The number one mistake that I see enlightening experts make as they try to move their business online, the one essential thing you must have to break out of this grinding trap of obscurity, the 5 ways your divine audience wants to learn from you, the 3 ascension pathways for an enlightening online expert, the 1 elegant skill or elegant invitation to launch your enlightening biz and products, and also equally important, what are the priority blocks that keep enlightening experts in this trap of obscurity? How does that sound? Okay. All right, and the benefits of stepping out of this curse of obscurity. I mean, I'm a best-selling author, and you know, I have a substantial email subscriber list. That's why you're on this call. And you know, even I still have areas in my life. If I go to masterminds in the business and marketing world, I'm very well known for my marketing savvy. You know, I'm infamous in certain circles there. And if I travel around the country and the world teaching enlightenment meditation, and I'm known for that. But I'm certainly not Deepak Chopra or a Wayne Dyer or an Oprah or an Ellen DeGeneres. You know, those people are authorities and celebrities in their particular field. Most of us don't have that kind of success or that kind of authority yet. And so we struggle with ways to, in alignment with our values of truth and integrity and compassion, to stand up and have our voice heard and get out there. But when we are able to really wrestle with and crush this curse of obscurity and take a bigger stand in our lives and in our soul's mission, then the opportunities are just amazing. And you know, with one very successful campaign, online internet campaign, you can double, triple, or even quadruple your email subscriber list, which then allows you to touch more hearts and minds with your message and the transformation that you offer. You know, instead of feeling like you're the best kept secret in your corner of the world, you could have 52 weeks worth of sales in just one 7-day period, 1 week. What would that mean for you and your life and your business? Or to be able to earn 6 figures in 6 days so that you can truly relax and enjoy the fruits of your life's work and your mission. To be able to claim the public authority that you already possess so that you can command celebrity and prestige that your work deserves. And totally kickstart your business at a whole new level so that you can grow the dream team that you need to really scale the mastery that you have and your ability to work and transform people. But then how do you take it so that you can impact 20, 30, 40, 100 people at a time as opposed to doing, you know, one-on-one? And then attract other like-hearted business partners who want to support you and can't wait to support you for your next offering. So we're going to talk about all of these things in our program today. So please, I invite you to sit back and turn off your phones, turn off Facebook, turn off your email, close the doors if you need to, get a pen and paper and settle in, because what I'm about to share with you, I think it really transform your Enlightening Expert business and the relationship you have to sharing your message and your mission online. And for those of you who stay to the end of our program today, I have a special bonus for you. So, just a little incentive to stick around and hear everything that we're going to cover today. So who am I? I'm your host, Alan Davidson, and this is a soul portrait taken by my friend Alana Avalon. And I help Enlightening Experts to remove the blocks that keeps them, that hinders them from embodying their most radiant, enlightening selves so that they can go big with their soul's purpose. That's my passion. That's my number one gift. These are some of the clients that I've had the opportunity to work with and experience some of the most recognized, heart-centered entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs in the personal development field. I've designed programs for David Nagel, his Art of Success. It was the single most successful converting online offer in the history of his business. In 1994, I helped Lisa Sasevich launch her Speak to Sell program. At that time, it was the most successful online promotion in the history of her business. Suzanne Evans hired me to design the launch strategy for her book, How You Do Anything is How You Do Everything. And we hit every single marker that she had set for her business, including number 5 in the New York Times bestseller list, in the how-to list. Promotions that I've done for Jack Canfield and Pamela Bruner. Margaret Lynch, I've helped her do, I can't begin to count the number of launches that Margaret and I have done together, but particularly for her 7 levels of wealth manifestation and her book, Tapping into Wealth, and then her Tapping into Wealth coaching program. We launched those together. And then Brian Horn, he's the one launch that I did outside of the personal development and spiritual development field. He's an authority expert, and the program we launched was beyond page 1 of Google. He was helping local businesses. But I wanted to do a big internet marketing launch, and so I had that experience. Rich Gurman, we launched a book and a home study course for him. But the fascinating thing about Rich is part of the launch that we did was a campaign to help a charity that helped homeless teenagers in the country get help and care that they needed and continue on in school. And for that program that we did, we actually raised $49,000 for his charity as part of the launch. So he was thrilled with that. Christine Kane, I've worked and helped, consulted with her on several of her launches. Stephen Russell, the Barefoot Doctor, he's the top inner martial arts Tai Chi master in the UK and could well say all of Europe. And Jan Stringer and Alan Hickman are the founders of Attracting Your Perfect Customer. So I've really helped them with their business. So I've had the opportunity to really see behind the curtain of some extraordinarily business. Oh, and I wanted to, because of GoToWebinar, that's Ted McGrath on the right, and I helped him with his Message to Millions launch last summer. And that strategy, he earned $1.4 million with the strategy that we created for him. So I show you this to not impress you, but to impress upon you that when it comes to online strategies for helping enlightening experts like these that I've just shared, it allows you to go big. So I know what I'm talking about. And just to give you a sense of what these enlightening experts are able to pay and choose to pay for my services, my VIP coaching, a VIP intensive 2 1/2 days for me to design a blueprint and give you all the project templates that you need, and then 6 support calls for you and your team. That's $20K plus 5% of the success of the launch that we do. Or you could take that, instead of doing it in an intensive weekend or 2 days, you can turn that over 6 months, and we work together with you, and that's $5,000 a month. Or if you choose to pay all of it up front, it's $25K, and you get a discount of $5K. So why do I tell you this? One is to show you again that what I'm about to share with you is pure gold. I really do know what I'm talking about. And I also want you, as enlightening experts who are beginning your journey online and really ready to take it to the next level, to aspire to work with me, because I'd love to help you take your message and get it out. So I promise the very best that I've got in 90 minutes. I've been working with business and marketing for 10 years. I actually owned a massage studio for 20 years before I published my book and moved my business online. So I had a very, very successful massage therapy practice and studio. But for the last 10 years, I've really been focusing on information, wisdom, courses, programs, events, and things that you can market online. And then we're going to have a Q&A about everything that we've covered today, and then with your permission, I will make you an invitation to work with me and discover if we're a good fit. And then there'll be a final Q&A at the end of our time together. So let's dive in. I want you to please do a short calculation for me on the cost of this obscurity, this level that you're at in your business, and what it's beginning to cost you. So what is your goal financially each month for your business or for your life? And then actually think about what you earned, what you brought in the last month. So we're in April now. So what was it that you earned in March? How much did you manifest? What were you able to sell? And then if you subtract the two, that'll show you the gap between what your financial goal is and what you were able to actually manifest and earn as an enlightening expert. So the cost of not being an authority or a celebrity in your corner of the world, your corner of the internet, it has a price, a financial price for you. So if you're comfortable, enter that into the question box and tell me, what is the gap that you have there? One of the things that I see over and over and over, I have the opportunity to go to many, many masterminds. And I see many wonderful heart-centered small business owners, enlightening experts, beautiful spirits who are committed to making a real difference in their lives, in their the lives of their families, in their communities, their clients, and the people they love. And over again, one of the things that I see is how small that they're playing, and how they're actually unconsciously, through their programming, choosing to live in obscurity and choosing to live with this high price that they're paying. And let me just say, does this sound like you? Do you feel like you've got inner blocks to your own power, or blocks to manifesting the money that you want and deserve? Are you unable to attract new leads and new clients and new customers for your service, particularly if you're wanting to do that online? Do you feel like you're the best kept secret in your corner of the world? Or maybe you have not been able to make the leap from doing one-to-one sessions. You might be very successful in enrolling one-to-one people, but you haven't successfully been able to start selling group programs yet. You're still trapped in trading minutes for dollars. Or when you're ready to offer your own webinar and teleseminar, you have less than 100 people that show up to hear you. And you don't have a new customer system in place that's actually working for you and bringing you. And, that's just some of the potential problems of living your life in obscurity. Or maybe you, like me, like I said, I've been studying with this world for 10 years, and I've studied with pretty much all the great teachers out there. I remember in 2006, I very quickly discovered Dan Kennedy, who is a genius at business and marketing. But his approach, his way of speaking and talking, his languaging, his messaging was great for people who were in more traditional brick and mortar businesses and certain people starting to go online. But he did not speak in a way that I could use and cut and paste to speak to yoga teachers or massage therapists or people who meditate, people that are in the more personal and spiritual development world. There's a sensitivity and an integrity there that a lot of marketing doesn't work for. So maybe you as an enlightening expert have studied with other people. You might have even invested in mastermind programs or mastery programs, but the experts didn't speak your language, or you weren't able to actually take their systems and make them work for you. So, so just make a note of that for yourself. And so before we dive into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. I don't think I've ever actually told it in this way before, but I was a very successful massage therapist. I was making between $90,000 and $100,000 a year doing massage appointments, working one-on-one with clients. And I had really designed my business so that it worked for me. I worked Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had a 2-hour lunch every day where I would come home and take a nap and have my lunch and then go back to the office. So, that's 25 massages a week. And that's, for those of you who have ever done massage, that's a tremendous amount of work. And so when my book, Body Brilliance, Mastering Your 5 Vital Intelligences, was released in March of 2007. I had big dreams of sort of moving online and, becoming a spiritual teacher at that level. And even though Body Brilliance was my first big online promotion, and it was the #1 health and wellness book that the week it came out, it was number 7 in Barnes & Noble's top 7 books, and it did go on to win 2 National Book Awards. It didn't give me the kind of success that I had dreamed of and hoped for, and I was surprised because listening to the online experts, it all sounded so easy. So I just made a commitment to learn everything I could and translate it so that it would work for myself, for my own programs and products. And eventually, I did find my way to a system of marketing that was perfect for the spiritual entrepreneurs and the spiritual clients that I had on my subscriber list, the people who had followed me for years. So, I was able to crack the code for myself finally to start selling my products and programs online. And then my marketing mentor, Jeff Walker, announced in July of 2009 that they were going to train 49 people in their system of marketing and to actually become managers of this particular system. And that voice inside of my head said, you need to be there. And the irony is that I went to that training in 2009, and I already had a client actually when I went, and I left, and I've pretty much had a marketing client ever since, and thus the amazing people that you saw at the beginning of this program. So, I was able to do it for myself, and I've been able to help my clients do it. So I'm here to tell you that if you are an expert, keep paying attention, keep connecting to your higher self, and keep taking the inspired actions. And don't get stuck in your mind trying to figure out what's the next step. Really connect to your higher self and let that guide you so that you can take the next right step that is in alignment with your core values and in alignment with your higher self. And that will make a huge difference for you. So now we're kind of starting to dive into the content, and this is the number one mistake that I see enlightening experts make. There's two different schools of thought in online marketing, and this goes for business as well, brick and mortar business. If you've got offices, physical offices in the world, and most online people will tell you that you need a subscriber list. You need to create a free gift to give somebody and start driving and inviting people to opt in for your list so you can grow your list. And then they tell you to create a product or a program to sell them. And that's what I'm calling an offer here. And I actually think that is a mistake, because I see so many people, I've got to create a free lead magnet. I wonder what people really want. And they're sort of trying to second guess who their divine audience is and what their divine audience wants. So write this down. I believe it's important to create your product and program first, or at least to design it first, and then offer it to the world. And build your list focused on buyers. Most people focus on subscribers and whether those subscribers want the free thing and will open emails, and plenty of enlightening experts are just happy that the people are opening their emails and they're getting some sort of inspiration or transformation from that. But I'm going to tell you a hard, naked truth here. You want to build a subscriber list, but you want to build a subscriber list of buyers. People who can genuinely step up and invest in the transformation that you can make for them, and they're willing to pay for that. The number one problem that I see with enlightening experts is they get stuck in that, I just want to build a list. I just want to have an impact on people. I just want to touch people. I just want to help them. I just want to make a difference. All that is wonderful. And it's essential for us to live our mission and our message and to fulfill our soul's purpose. But there is an important strategic error that a lot of enlightening experts make. I firmly believe that you need to have a product, a program designed, offer it, make sure that there is an audience for it that will actually pay for it, Then you can build it out while you deliver it, and you can go from there. And then you can figure out, okay, here's a problem that my divine audience has. My product and program is the solution to that. We've resolved that. They've gotten the transformation. And then you can ask them, okay, what's the next problem that you face? And then you can look at creating more products and programs. So have something first. For all of you that are experts, most of you have what I call a signature process, a system of taking people through the transformation you know is possible for them. So I think every enlightening expert ought to have a home study course based on their own signature process. But, we'll save that for another conversation. So you want to create a program and then build a list of buyers based around that program. All right. So here's the simple formula for having an online business. The one thing that you need is one successful converting offer. And then you need enough eyes and hearts to buy. That's it. It's really that elegantly simple. One successful offer that people will invest in, that people actually buy, will allow you to have a very successful business online in the world, helping people. And then once you have that converting offer, then it's relatively easy to start getting more eyes and more hearts to actually buy that program. So here are the 5 ways that your divine audience wants to learn with you and from you. And you're going to think, duh, this makes perfect sense. I knew this. They want to read what you've written. They want to listen to what you have said. They want to watch what you filmed. They want to experience you live in a seminar, a workshop, an event, and or they want to master what it is that you're bringing to the world. And usually mastery at the mastery level, then that involves reading, listening, watching, and experiencing. It's a multimedia experience. So let's just dive into this for a moment. You guys are being very quiet there in the question box. So let me just know that you're still there. I'd love to know that you're still tracking and listening and paying attention here. So, what have I said so far that has had some impact on you? Okay, great. Wonderful, wonderful. Fabulous, great. All right. So here's some examples of products or programs that use these different modalities. So like watching, videos, a home study course, video programs like DVDs, and yes, DVDs still have a market, digital and online courses, webinars like you're watching right here, or listening. And I'm here to tell you there's still a huge audience for listening. So whether that's teleseminars or audio programs. You might know that audible.com it's been bought by Amazon.com, and Audible takes very well-known books, new books, popular books, and hires actors to read them. And where ebooks, reading them on a Kindle or your iPad or your tablet has declined, the sale of ebooks has declined, audiobooks has exploded, and it's grown 4 times in the last 2 years. So it's exponentially growing because people are listening. They're listening when they're walking, when they're exercising, when they're driving. So don't write off teleseminars and audio programs. Experience live events, seminars, workshops, or live streams of, a live stream is a video stream or transmission of a live event, seminar, or workshop. Or even if you create networking groups, that's another way your people can experience you. Reading, actual books that you write, reports that you write, ebooks. People forget about workbooks, particularly if you do some sort of training. Workbooks are really valuable. Transcripts, if you do a video or audio course, if you create transcripts of them, people love to be able to read. Instructor guides, people forget about this one. It's an incredible way to reach people, particularly if you're at the mastery level. Under mastery, coaching, consulting, masterminds, membership, and continuity are all examples of ways that people can go deeper and deeper with you. And then sort of miscellaneous there are games and board games. And I'll tell you, one of the success stories that I know of is my friend John, who is an expert in medicinal herbs. And he actually he was an acupuncturist whose passion was edible medicinal herbs. He lived in the Seattle area of Washington State. And he also volunteered at a 501c3 program to help kids learn about the great outdoors and edible and medicinal herbs. And so he created a board game and borrowed money from his father-in-law, spent a lot of money, created the board game. The board games were delivered, and the next thing you know, his garage was full, closets were full, the second bathroom of their house was completely stacked with board games. And he went to promote it, and boom, zoom. I think he sold less than 10 games. And then he invested in an online course with my teacher and mentor, Jeff Walker, on how to launch programs and products online. And he sold, in his first campaign online, he sold $20,000 worth of his board games. So he was ecstatic about that. So these marketing skills work for all sorts of products and programs. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now I want to give you just some examples. So I ask you to fill out that formula on the cost of obscurity of what your financial goal is each month, what the reality was of what you earned each month, and then what was the gap, what was the difference between, and what was the high cost financially that you were paying for that. And so I have just got a couple of examples here for you. Now, I personally think that every enlightening expert ought to be earning at least $10,000 a month based on their expertise. If you've spent, I used to teach massage for 10 years in my life as a body worker, and certainly as an online entrepreneur, as an enlightening entrepreneur, I have met so many amazing, heart-centered, spiritually inspiring teachers of all kinds who have such a commitment to mastery. They are genuinely experts at what they do, and they know that they have a mission and a soul's purpose that's bigger than what they're able to do right now. And it's my belief that every enlightening expert ought to be making at a minimum $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year, which, is a significant amount of money in our world for sure. And there's so much more that's possible from there. I just think that's a minimum goal that most enlightening experts should really shoot for. So I'd like to, if you feel comfortable, enter into the little question box if your financial goal that you wrote down is $10,000 or more, or if you entered something that was less than that. And that's going to show us one of the first energetic blocks, programming, that you have that you need to overcome to really step in a big way into your soul's purpose, into a successful. Great. So more than 10K. Wonderful. Wonderful. And for some of the rest of you. But just for a couple of these examples, I just want to show you what's possible. If you have an audio CD course, now a book, you can go to audible.com and you can buy something for $20. Or if you actually order the CDs from Amazon.com, now they're starting to get up to, $24, $26, $28, $30 for the actual CDs. They just want you to download the Audible MP3 version. But if you've got a course that you're actually taking people through a transformation, you can charge 10 times, 20 times more than what a book is actually worth. And so you can easily have an audio program that's worth $97, $197, $297, depending on how successful you've been in this transformation and just how profound it is. But I used a price point of $297. You only have to sell 34 units. That's basically a little more than one a day per month to make $10,000. Just having a successful audio course that you can sell online. So I have a digital home study course for my Enlightened Tapping Meditation. Now it usually sells for $497, but when I do it in a launch, then I drop it to $397. So I just have to sell 26 of those a month, so that's less than one a day, to reach my $10,000 minimum. Or if you have a live event, if you do a live event, you do a 3-day event. This is my friend Margaret Lynch, by the way, who does an amazing event. You just have to have 21 people, 21 hearts in seats to watch you 3 days a month do something that you're passionate about if you charge $497. So as you start to understand the value of your products and programs, you can understand, oh, it doesn't seem that overwhelming. I have to have 21 people, or I have to have 28 people, or I have to have 34 people to invest in my product or program. So depending on what you have to offer, what you have successfully offered and sold in the past, and how you move that online. So here are the 5 things that you need to sell your enlightening expertise online. It's an offer that sells, and I keep saying offer because an offer is more than a product or program. I'm going to break down the 5 elements of a successful offer for you in just a moment. I believe that you need 3 or more dramatic case studies of people that have had the transformation that you promise, and they've had dramatic results with their work with you. You have to have some system in place for helping you promote that online. You need a team to support you. And this is where, if I could go back and talk to Alan Davidson in 2006, the number one thing that I would say to him is, yes, you're very clever, you're very smart, you can learn to do anything that you want to, but you do not need to learn programming on the internet. You do not need to learn how to edit videos. You do not need to learn how to do all these systems of integrating shopping carts and merchant accounts and email systems and affiliate systems. Don't be so cheap. Hire a team, a virtual team of people that can work with you part-time to do these things so that you can, one, learn the sales and marketing systems to promote yourself, and then how to reach the eyes and the hearts of your divine audience so that you can really focus on what I'm good at. That's the number one thing I would tell him. I see so many enlightening experts who think they need to learn how to edit WordPress website, or they need to know how to create order forms on their shopping cart and integrate them with their email systems. And hire a team. You can find I mean, the guy that does all of my tech for me, he charges $125 an hour. But he is so fast that, you know, he really only works in my business 3 to 4 hours a week. So it's easier for me to focus on earning $500 to pay him to work for those 4 hours than it is for me to spend 20 hours figuring out or doing very slowly the things that he can do at the snap of the fingers. So that's the number one thing that I would tell myself in 2006 is step up, master sales, earn the money that you deserve, doing what I am passionate about, and leave doing all of this grunt work to people who are passionate about doing that, and let them shine. And then the fifth thing that you need is, again, a way to access the eyes and hearts of the people who are most interested in what you have to offer. And that is so easy to do today. And this is not a course about Facebook or Facebook ads, but that is the most amazing, lowest hanging fruit you can imagine. So that's paid advertising. But that's you know, once you have an offer that converts and sells, you know, we'll come to ways to make those sales. But I'll just tell you right now, there are 3 ways to get eyes and hearts looking at you and your business. I call them the 3 B's. You can build it, you can buy it, or you can borrow it. So building it is the old way that I told you, the mistake that I see so many people. I say, oh, I've got to create a free gift for my divine audience. What is it that they want? What do they need? And so you put that out there and you start growing your subscriber list to opt in for the free gift, but then you don't make them an offer. You don't, you know, try to sell them anything. You don't have a system in place to do that. So that's building it. Or, you know, you write, you're an amazing writer, or you know, have a video blog or whatever, YouTube channel, and you're building an audience, but you're, again, not trying to sell them anything. So that's building your subscriber list. That's very slow going. You know, I have over 350 articles on my website that I've been posting since 2006, and I get about 200 to 300 brand new visitors to my website every day. Now, are all of them my divine audience? No. But I do get a small percentage of people who take my free offer that's available on every single page that I have. But I'm here to tell you that's a very slow and excruciating way to build your subscriber list, and you're not guaranteeing that you're actually building a list of buyers. You're just building a list of people who are interested in what you're doing. So that's building it. Buying it is paid traffic, you know, whether it's Facebook or Google, other ways of getting eyes and hearts to your system. And there's a whole art and science to that, and there are people who charge a whole lot of money to help you crack the code on that. But once you have a successful offer, you can start to afford advertising for what you do. And then the third kind is borrow the eyes and hearts, and that's where you affiliate partners and joint venture partners come in, where for a commission, usually 40 or 50% commission on the sale that you make, they will tell their subscribers and readers about you. And that's the number one way that I've been able to build my business, is through affiliate and joint venture partners. So that's just a little bit on how to get eyes and hearts to your enlightening business and your enlightening programs, ideally your signature program. Okay, so now let's dive into the 5 elements of a successful and converting offer. And here they are right here, and I'm going to go through them and walk through them with you. The transformation and the case studies, the deliverables, your bonuses, your price, and your guarantee. Those elements are the 5 things that you need in place for a really successful and converting sales offer. So I'm going to walk you through these one at a time. Okay, so the major mistakes that I see that people make about the transformation is, one, they don't focus on the transformation. This should be 80% of your offer. Most of us enlightening experts, we're so fascinated by the process that we've created to help people that we get passionate about telling them about the process. Like, I created Enlightened Tapping Meditation, and, left to my own designs and my own enthusiasm, I would say, oh yes, I studied voice dialogue from the Howland Sidra Stone School in 1994, and then in 2006 I met Genpo Roshi, the American Zen master, who taught me Big Mind and taught me to be a Big Mind facilitator. And then in 2010 I met Margaret Lynch and started really working using tapping, EFT tapping. And so when I put all these together, I created this amazing process called Enlightened Tapping Meditation. That's focusing on the process. People could care less about the process. What they care about is the destination. What's the transformation that I can have with my experience? So when I think of it that way, the transformation for Enlightened Tapping Meditation is, in 40 minutes or less, you can experience the same level of meditation, of stillness, that the Dalai Lama does in his daily meditation. Now, all of a sudden people go, oh, I'd like to learn how to meditate like the Dalai Lama in 40 minutes or less. And that's the destination. People can have the same stillness that the Dalai Lama has in his daily meditation. So you see, there's a very important shift there. I focus on the destination, stillness, the same stillness as the Dalai Lama. So this is a tweetable moment, as Oprah would say. Focus on the transformation. The other major mistake that I see people make all the time is they rarely use case studies, or they underuse them, or they only will use a testimonial. And the difference between a testimonial and a case study is this. A testimonial is someone who says, oh, I studied with Gerhard, and he is just amazing. I love him. He's fabulous. And the course was fabulous. It was so great. That's a testimonial. That's not very helpful to someone who is trying to learn more about your work. And it's not a case study. A case study is somebody who comes in and said, oh, I met Gerhard, I focused on his process, and in the 6-week program or the 8-week program, I noticed these very specific and measurable differences in my life. When I came in, I was thinking, feeling, being this way. Halfway through the course, I noticed these specific and measurable changes, and now it's been 6 weeks after the course has ended, and I can really feel the difference because I'm thinking, feeling, and being this way. And I can see the difference, and it's because of the work that I did with Gerhard. So that's the difference in a case study. So part of your offer, you need to have, I believe, and I think most of you have this in some way, form, or fashion, that you have people that you've worked with, whether it's one-on-one or in a group or in an online program, and it allows your divine audience to say, oh, sure, Gerhard can do it for himself, but can it really work for me? And that's always the question in your divine audience's mind. Sure, it'll work for the master. They've studied this for 10, 20 years, but how's it going to help me in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 90 days? So You always want to make sure that you have case studies, and ideally if you've got 3 of them, you're gold, 3 or more. So, okay, so let's see, next. So I'm going to actually give you an example. So I recently sold a program live from the stage. I had a live event here in Houston, which was fabulous in and of itself. And it was an Embodying Your Soul Purpose 90-day transformation, and it was a $1,997 program. So I'm just going to go through this quickly. I'm not going to read all of it, but I had 4 slides on the benefits that people are going to experience, the transformation that they're going to get when they did at the end of the 90 days of this program. So I'm just going to go through them pretty quickly. So you can see here 4 bullet points. So work in line with your soul's innate gifts and talents. Exponentially increase your energy, focus, and cognitive function. Become a master of your conscious choices. Allow you to have complete control over yourself and every circumstance. To be completely sovereign and not depend on anyone or anything outside of yourself. To clear all perceptual blockages that keep you from manifesting exactly what you want. It gives you an unfair advantage in your business, your relationships, etc., and allows you to become, I love this, drama and karma immune. To clear all the karmic imprints from your body-mind system that keep you from walking, that can stop you from walking your karma and the karma of your parents. Keeps you from being in a karmic loop so that you're doing the same thing over and over and not able to, one, experience different results. Clears the source of all physical disease and to allow you to bioregenerate your original divine blueprint for perfect health. And here's the last page of benefits. To transmute the lower vibrating blockages to lack, limitation, and poverty that you inherited, and put the odds in your favor because you are no longer self-sabotaging. And the important thing is this knowledge can never be taken away from you. You embody it. It becomes true for you. You have the skills and talents. So you see how 4 pages focus on the transformation that people are going to get in the program. Okay? All right, so now here's the second thing. These are the deliverables. Now, if 80% is the transformation in your case studies and 10% is your deliverables, it's like, wow, well, so much for the process I've created. But the deliverables are really, this is what you get in the training. You know, these are the books or the PDFs, these are the videos, these are the audios, or these are the CDs, or, you know, this is what you get. And so, so here is what I focused on. Here's the deliverables that they got for this program. Okay, so they get a live retreat. They get a 3-day live retreat with me. That's a $5,000 value, and then they get an online training program. Well, as we dive into it, it's like, okay, here's what they get with the 1-day intensive. Excuse me, the 3-day intensive. Day 1, focusing on clearing the light body. Day 2, really diving into the soul purpose work, and day 3 actually was embodying the soul purpose and focusing on manifesting their goals. And then the online training is 12 90-minute calls over 3 months led by me. So that's it. And then I go into what the different weeks were included in each of the deliverables. Weeks 1 through 5, weeks 6 through 8, you know, knowing your unique rainbow self, connecting to trusted source, knowing what your universal soul purpose is, your unique soul purpose, your mission, your message, your legacy, and who your divine audience is. And then we move into the final month there, again, embodying the soul purpose, setting goals in divine right timing and divine right order, and then manifesting that and just surrendering to the manifestation process. So You see how I very specifically laid out, this is what you get. You get a 3-day live event and you get 9 weeks of study. And in that 9 weeks of study, here's what you get. I spent way more time and energy going over the transformation than I did on the bonuses. On the deliverables. Okay, so the next thing, the third thing that you need in a successful offer is you need bonuses that are going to support and deepen the transformation. Some people just believe bonuses, I'm going to throw anything in the kitchen sink that I have as a bonus here. And that's not what you want. You want bonuses that are very strategic. And there's a fine line here. You want people to feel like for the investment that they're making, that they've gotten everything that they need to get the transformation that you promise. So the example my friend Perry uses is, if you sell somebody a car, you don't want to give them a bonus of a steering wheel. You need the steering wheel to function the car, to drive the car. So you do that fine line is that they don't, some people will look at their deliverables and they'll pull out a module and say, I'm going to make this a bonus. But if the transformation is incomplete from the basic modules, the basic course deliverables, then you're cheating your students. And they will psychologically and emotionally and energetically recognize that. People, I have found, people in general, but particularly people in the spiritual world, they have a pretty well-tuned bullshit meter. And if you're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, then they know it. They know it. So if you're, that's why I say enlightening experts operate a level of truth and integrity and compassion. because your divine audience will know when you're not. When you're out of integrity, they will know it. So your bonuses need to be in support of the major transformation. So for my Soul Purpose program, here are the bonuses that I offered: my Enlightened Happy Meditation Home Study course, my Wisdom Warrior training, my 5 Tibetan training, my Tai Chi 5 Elements movement, my kaleidoscopic chakra chanting meditation, and then the Facebook group. So those all are in support of embodying your soul purpose. They help deepen the experience and deepen the training that they get. So make sure that when you offer bonuses in your offer, that you don't cannibalize your original program, but they support the transformation and deepen the transformation that you promised them. Okay, so the price is the value versus the price that you're actually asking. And another mistake that I see people make is they really exaggerate the prices of their courses, of their bonuses, and of their actual course. And, again, your divine audience, they will know if you're bullshitting them. So I want you to think back when I showed you the prices, the value of the Soul Purpose training. I said there's a 3-day live event. It's worth $5,000. And there is a 9-month online component that's worth $5,000. It's a $10,000 value. Well, I have offered 3 events here in Houston, 3-day events that were $5,000 each. People paid $5,000 to come to those. So I can genuinely say the value of what you're going to get is worth $5,000. I've charged that and people have paid it. I've also offered a 90-day online course for $5,000 that people paid for that because the value they got for their investment was worth it to them. So one, you have to be integrity with the value that you're quoting and versus the price. And when you drop the price, you need to give them a good reason why you're giving them a price break. You've got to be clear about this because people will definitely know. Okay. So again, here is, what I listed, the full value of the program, the 3-day retreat, the 90-day program, plus the bonus package was basically $1,100. And if they invested at the event, it was $19.97, or they could pay with 4 payments. And then notice, here's a little tip. Notice that I offered a special bonus if they paid in full. And people really wanted those 2 little 30-minute sessions with me. Every single person who bought the program paid in full. And primarily, yes, Gerhard, that's a wonderful, Gerhard mentioned that I'm doing a beta test on this program, and this is why it's a possible reason. I'll tell you a little aside about that. I mentioned that my favorite way to launch a new program is to design it first and then actually go out and sell it, whether it's with one-on-one strategy sessions, or whether it is a webinar like this, or it's a telecall, or it's driving people to a simple sales page. It's design it and then sell it and then deliver it. And so, but I also believe that you should be really honest with people. Like, this is the first time I'm doing this. We are creating this experience, this program together. And so because of that, I'm going to give you a discounted price. Normally it's going to be $297, but because you're a valued customer and we're creating this together, I'm going to offer for $197 for this beta offering this first time through. So that's a great point, Gerhard. Thank you. So anyway, so you give people a reason why the price is dropping, and it has to be, a legitimate price. And the question that I ask everybody with this is, who will you be in 90 days? If you get the transformation that you want, then who are you going to be? With all the benefits that I listed, who will you be in 90 days? Will you be empowered? Will you be embodied? Will you be in line with your soul's purpose and making your choices and actions in alignment with your higher self, in alignment with your soul's purpose, so that you're not actually creating more karma, you're burning off karma fast and furious because you're making your choices in line with your higher self. And just to support what you were just saying, yes, absolutely. And the reason I told people that I offered this program at $19.97, because it is actually the first time I had offered a 90-day program like this on your soul purpose. So it's like, we're creating this together, and people invested. So somebody asked if there's going to be a replay. Yes, there absolutely will be a replay, and I'm thrilled that you guys are finding value in what I'm offering here, because I wish I'm giving you the information that I wish I would have discovered in 2006 in the language of an enlightening expert, which I've honed 10 years of experience. So the guarantee, there's a lot of different ways to talk about guarantees. And this is pretty much the 30-day no questions asked guarantee. And there's a lot of ways you can language. You can say, hey, if 30 days, if you do the course, you do the program, if you watch the videos, if you implement action and you don't get the results that I promise, I'll refund your money, no questions asked. There's a lot of way to talk about that and frame that, but here's the behind the curtain truth. If you take credit cards and people pay by credit card, your merchant account is pretty much going to require you to offer a 30-day no questions asked refund policy. So that's just a little secret from behind the curtain there, but you can dress it up any way that you want. Now, I will say, I know people that don't offer a guarantee. They say, if you're making a choice in line with your higher self and you know that this is the next right step for you, then I want you to make it. And I'm not offering a guarantee. There's no refunds. It's 100% once you're in, you're in. And, that works for them. the reality is their merchant account might require them to, refund some people if people claim. Now, then there's also, you can go beyond that, and there are all sorts of elaborate guarantees that that people offer. I've seen people with a $2,000 or $5,000 program who will say, make the investment, download everything that you can from the program, the videos, the PDFs, the training, implement it, take action. If in 30 days you don't get results, you don't think this was a fabulous investment, I'll refund your money and you get to keep the course. Now that's somebody who's really sure of the transformation that they deliver and that they can engage people enough to take action over 30 days to get some sort of specific results. So you got to really know your audience, and you got to really trust the transformation, and the people are going to get it, and you're delivering in a way that they can maximize it to offer a guarantee like that. So my guarantee for the Soul Purpose program was, the 30 days, no questions asked. And we're into 60 days now, and not one single person asked for a refund. Actually, I take that back. One person did ask for a refund. I refunded her money in 15 minutes that she got that I got the request. She sent an email back, boy, that was fast, but I was actually having second thoughts. So she actually re-enrolled in the course after I'd refunded her money. So, I can honestly say no refunds, but it was her understanding that she was just having some self-sabotage thoughts, and I honored her request, no questions asked, okay. But then after coming back to the conversation, she was like, but I really do want the transformation you promised with this Soul Purpose program. And so she re-enrolled, and 60 days later, she's happy. So that was my guarantee for the program. So, all right, so now we're going to move into a couple of 3 different ways that Enlightening Experts can take their expertise online, and then I'm going to tell you my favorite of them, and then we're going to open it up to some questions. All right. The first one is, now on the left-hand side, you're going to see a graphic that I use for my high-end VIP coaching clients, and this is the Enlightening Expert Ascension model of how you take people, through a higher and higher level of offerings and more expensive offerings to get to sort of the peak there of the spiral. But and this is the traditional online marketing formula, in that you offer them a free gift in exchange for their name and email address. In marketing lingo, that's called a lead magnet. Once they do that, you offer them something that's called a liquidator or a tripwire, or something, but it's something usually between $7 and $19, a very inexpensive, a 90-minute video training, a PDF report of some kind with real value in it. The idea is that you get them to make a micro investment, a small investment in themselves and with you. And then from that, the next offering is your signature course, your basic program that introduces them to you and your philosophy and your worldview and the foundational transformation that they need and want. And then from that introduction to you, that signature course, then you upsell them to other courses and classes and programs and things that you have. So that's the classic online formula, from free gift, exchanging for that name and email, to a small, inexpensive investment into you and your work, and then to your signature course. Now that signature course can be $197, or it can be $997, or it can be $1997. And the soul, embodying your soul purpose, is really now going to be my flagship course, my signature course, because it really brings together everything that I love under one roof. And really, you know, we're just now into our 8th class, and the transformation that people are having, fantastic. I could not be more excited. But anyway, all right, so here is the number 2. It's the Evergreen Webinar Ascension Pathway. And it's, again, you opt in for a free gift. Usually it's a small video training. And in that video training, at the end of it, they basically say, if this was good, you really should sign up for my 90-minute webinar where we're going to do a real deep dive in this. And on the webinar, then they sell the signature course. And then after the signature course, that you take them through an online process for upselling them other products and programs. So, and that, and by Evergreen Webinar, it's like, okay, so, you know, this is a live webinar. I'm speaking to you live, and you know, and there will be a replay, but it's really clear that, you know, there's a premiere and there's an encore. But then the Evergreen Webinar is that, you know, someone can come and they can, every day they could sign up and watch your webinar training. So that's what it means by Evergreen. So that's another ascension pathway. In the marketing lingo, it's called a funnel, a marketing funnel. And then here's the third way, and it's an online launch, and it's how you go through a very specific sequence or dance of offering people usually 3 videos, 2 to 3 to 4 videos. And then after they've sort of been indoctrinated to you and gotten the experience of you and your work, then you have a launch. You open the cart and people can actually buy your signature program. And then there's a post-launch. Then there's a stick strategy for keeping the clients that you have and engaging the new subscribers that you have that didn't actually buy yet. So that is the sequence. And I'll tell you that I think number 3 is a lot of work, but it is the single most successful way for an enlightening expert to build their online business and to grow in a very fast way their authority, their reach, get the expanded subscriber list. I remember when I started working with Margaret Lynch. She had 35,000 people on her list. We designed a launch for her 7 levels of wealth manifestation, and by the time we were done launching that, she had 100,000 people. So she'd gone from having an impact of an influence over 30,000 of her subscribers, and in basically within 9 months we had grown that to 100,000. We'd tripled it. And so it had a huge impact on her business and her level of authority and celebrity in her world. When I worked with Rich Gurman, he had 15,000 people on his list. We did that big charity drive, book giveaway charity drive, and we actually grew his list of 50,000 people. So by growing his list 35,000 people, we actually raised, again, $49,000 for his charity, and then they were all primed for the his signature course that he offered him afterwards. So those are just a couple of examples of how you can very quickly grow your impact. It is a lot of work, I'll tell you right now. And there, you know, in all 3 of these ascension funnels, the ascending step by step, the Evergreen Webinar, or the product launch. Here's the shocking news, everybody. There are a lot of moving parts in each of these, and there are lots of things that can go wrong and lots of things that have to be fine-tuned and make sure that they're humming along. And then guess what? They might work for 6 months or 9 months or a year, and then it's like, okay, I need new free gifts. I need new opt-in. I need new copy for my sales letter or my sales page. oh, gee, my signature course isn't converting the way that I need to do. I need to do a 2.0 version of it. So, there are a lot of moving parts in each of these. They are a fair amount of work and attention to learn how to do them, develop the strategies, and then execute them. And that's why I say over and over, you need a team that will really help you implement these things so that you can be passionate and focused on what you need to do. So the product launch formula is the method that has worked for me, that I think works beautifully for enlightening experts. And here's why. The secret behind the secret formula, the strategy behind product launch formula is real simple. You invite people to watch 3 videos, and each of those videos you give them an experience, you give them a tool, you give them something that will give them results immediately. So in those 3 videos, you're basically giving, giving, and giving. And then when the shopping cart opens, then you ask them to invest and go deeper with you. So the formula is really give, 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 ask, and then over deliver. Deliver fabulously. And that works so well for enlightening experts, for people in the personal development, spiritual development world, because when I interviewed with Margaret Lynch, before she hired me, I said one of the things that I love about product launch formula is, you might have hundreds or thousands of people that are going to add as subscribers to you, and not all of them are going to buy. But if those people who don't even buy watch 1 video or 2 videos and they implement the exercise or the technique, or they get some taste of the transformation that you promise, their lives will be different. So you've been of real service to them and to the greater world at large. And it helps you then attract and manifest your buyers, your divine buyers that genuinely want to work deeper with you. So that give, give, give allows you to have great impact, to make a difference on people's lives, whether they buy from you or not, and puts you in a position of authority, so that when you do have your buyers, they get the transformation you promised them. They have a taste for who you are and the style that you teach in and the way that you deliver an experience. So they know that up front, so they're already primed to invest with you. So it's my favorite formula, and it works so well in the spiritual world. So this is Jeff Walker. He is the founder of the Product Launch Formula, and he is responsible literally for millions and millions and millions of dollars being earned online in all sorts of niches and corners of the world. But I'll tell you, I'm the one who has taken this and worked most deeply in the spiritual and personal development world. And Jeff has personally introduced potential clients to me, and John Walker, his brother and partner in the business, has also introduced me to clients. So, so now I want to just go through the 6 online stages of a product launch, just so that you sort of know, and you've probably already seen them. If you've been studying this for very long, online marketing for very long, you've seen a product launch in action. You might not have known exactly what it was. Okay, so, and this is my language. This is not Jeff's language. This is how I teach launching a product or program or event or experience online for an enlightening expert. And it's the countdown, and this is this is really behind the scenes. It's very high level strategy. And let me just say that part of the high level strategy is that you can build a business on launches, doing launch after launch after launch after launch, whether it's every month or every quarter or something, but they're exhausting. They're a lot of work. They're hugely successful. So I don't think in terms of a product launch as a business model. It is one single strategy that helps you grow your business, make sales, meet potential customers, and work with partners, affiliate partners. But I will tell you, write this down, of all the different models that I've seen, a product launch with a successful offer in 3 dramatic case studies is the single fastest way to grow your business online and to make sales. Okay, then we move to the second stage of an online launch, which is still in that countdown before takeoff, but it's what we call the pre-launch, and that's the classic 3 pre-launch videos that you'll see. And there is a rhyme and a reason and a formula that goes with each of those 3 videos, and how they're sequenced. Notice the word sequence. So a launch is really, I think of it in terms of like a great Hollywood movie or a great novel or a great Broadway play, in that you take people by the hand and you guide them through an entire experience. And the pre-launch videos are that, the first act of an experience. And then moving to 3, all systems go. Here are the systems that you need. By the way, you might want to write these down to do a successful online campaign. You need the systems that you need are a website with 4 pages. You need an automatic system, which is basically your email, your shopping cart connected to a merchant account, and an affiliate system. So you need something that connects those 3 together. And then you need video hosting. You can use YouTube, but if you're charging people for, particularly if you're doing a higher end program like $297 or higher, you probably want to use something like Wistia, W-I-S-T-I-A, rather than YouTube. People think, well, if I can get all this on YouTube, then why do I need to pay for it? The 4 web pages that you need are an opt-in page where you can take people's emails and names, a content delivery page so you can deliver what you promised them, whatever it is, whether it's a PDF, a report, a book, a video training, pre-launch videos, whatever that is. You've got to have pages to deliver those. Then you need a sales page, whether it's a long written sales page or a video sales page. Still up in the air. In my experience, they work 50-50. If the person's really charismatic and really skilled at delivering a sales message on video in the Enlightening Expert field, then I say, go ahead, test a video. But for the most part, long written sales pages also work in our industry. And then finally, the 4th page that you need is an order page. That's actually where people enter their personal information and their credit card stuff and all that. So those are the systems the 3 systems you need, and the 4 website pages that you need. So I'm hoping this is helpful to you guys. Then just enter something in the question box if this is helpful, and maybe you've probably seen this stuff before, but maybe not had it explained to you in quite this way. So let me see there. I'm going to come to YouTube videos again, Gerhard. Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you guys for saying. I still got a comment about YouTube. There are ways to mask the YouTube logo, but that there are other reasons to use other systems besides YouTube, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So now we come to the cart open strategy, and that's Houston. We have liftoff. I do live in Houston, so hey, I get to say that. NASA is just about 25 minutes down the road from me. And that's the card open strategy, and this is actually where people can buy and invest with you for the first time. And there's a whole art and science to how many days the shopping cart is open, what kind of events. Do you have a cart open webinar, or do you have, as you get to cart close and the time is growing short for people to invest with you, do you do a coach-a-thon or a tap-a-thon, or do you have a teleseminar with your top partners? There are different strategies, again, just to engage people and show them the value of investing with you. So that all gets developed. The fifth stage is what I call max your orbit, and it's really about keeping the sales you made. It's like your shopping cart's closed. It's like, what's the stick strategy that you have to make sure that your clients are logging onto the website, they're accessing the course, they're joining the support calls that you offer to make sure people do the product, basically so that they don't refund. And the number one reason people refund is because they never log into the website. If you actually have an email that goes out to guarantee people get logged in, or follow up, or you have people from your office that call and will actually get on the phone and walk them through it, if you get people to actually log into the website just once, it will decrease your refunds considerably. So it's about keeping the sales you make, and also for the people who bought, you keep the sales, but you have all these new subscribers. So it's like, how do you keep them engaged with you even though they haven't invested with you? So there's a whole strategy for what do you do with all your new subscribers to keep them opening your emails, engaging with you, reading, watching, listening to the wisdom you have to share, which gives you the opportunity to make other invitations to them, other opportunities for investing in the transformations that you offer. And then the final stage of a launch, and this is how you go from being a small fish in a small pond online to different levels of success. And it's the 6 stages, the big splash landing. And that's where you start to work with affiliate partners, people who are willing to support you and your work and your program. And depending on what level you're at, people will want different things from you. Now, they're always going to want some sort of commission. So whether that's 40% or 50% commission depends, it's part of your strategy. But then the bigger your partners are, the less important the money actually is to them. They're looking for other things. Many partners will want to reciprocate. If they mail for you, they want you to mail for them. So you have to make sure when you commit to a reciprocal mailing that the people that you mail for are working at a level of integrity that matches yours, that the way that they market and the way to deliver a program is at a similar level to yours, whatever value that is for you. I take my subscribers really, really seriously, and I get invited to mail for things. You wouldn't believe how often people ask me to mail, and I'm very, very careful because one, I respect my audience, and so you need to respect your audience and make sure that when you introduce them to somebody else that they are very well taken care of. So that's the one thing I'll say about that. And then as you get to start working with bigger and bigger partners, you find that the money is important and the reciprocals are important, but they're actually looking for other opportunities that are beyond their grasp, invitations or introductions to experiences that they want, or people that they haven't met yet. So, you have to look in terms of, here are my ideal partners for this particular program, and how can you about going and enrolling them and engaging them and having them support you, and what is it they're looking for that would help them make that choice really easy for you. Okay, so now we're getting to the fun stuff. So what I love about my particular unique position is that first and foremost, my sole purpose is divine wisdom and being a divine healer. It's been, even in my bartending days, I still had a healing quality. I had all my classes in psychology, and I had, I used to work on a suicide crisis hotline, which is basically all about listening and asking a few strategic questions. And so people have come to me for some sort of, to be seen, to be heard, to be healed for a very long time. And I just happen to be able to offer a world-class marketing and business strategy, but I also am proud to say that I'm a world-class healer as well. And so when I look at the enlightening experts that I work with, we all have programming that keeps us stuck in old ways of being, and old patterns of powerlessness, and old defenses, and old complexes that keep us from stepping up fully into our power, into our clarity, into our soul's purpose. And a lot of those are around recognizing and owning our own value, and understanding that no matter how we may have been wounded in the past, that we're free to make choices that take us toward our soul's purpose and our mission and our message, and having the impact with our divine audience that we were born to. Or we can continue to play small and little and be dictated by that old programming and choose not to get out of it. And so the one thing that I know about that old programming is that it starts at the energetic, spiritual level of our being. In the yoga tradition, they call that sanskaras. That's the karmic imprints, the frozen light that is trapped in our spiritual body. But I also know that those karmic imprints, those twisted energy patterns at the energetic level, they affect us on all 5 levels of our intelligences. It impacts the choices we make at the moral intelligence level. It affects our thinking and the way our actual brains are wired neurologically. It impacts the way that we emotionally react and respond, and the way that we are wired emotionally at the amygdala level of our brains. That's the fuzzy animal part of our brains, where we store complex emotions. And it affects our bodies. I want you just to notice, just take a moment and just notice how you are listening to this program. Are you sitting in a chair? Are you sitting upright with your chest up and open and your arms back? Is your head resting above your shoulders? Or are you slumped in a chair? You slouched to one side, or you slumped forward looking at the computer? There are postures that support power, and there are postures that are inherently powerless. And they have a tremendous impact on our emotions, our thoughts, and our choices, and we don't even know it. So this old programming has to be cleared spiritually, morally, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Now, with my work, I've had tremendous effect helping people clear stuff at the spiritual level. That's where it's hardest to get at. but you still have to do the great work of making new choices that rewire your brain and that rewire your emotional grid, and that actually then to, make choices to be powerful in your body. So you get to do that. So the priority blocks that I see that many enlightening entrepreneurs have, they have vows of poverty, they have vows of powerlessness, they have nun karma or monk karma or priest or priestess karma, which usually have vows of like no property, vows of chastity, things like that. Many spiritual people living today have, I'm just going to say it, reincarnations of lifetimes where they made vows. And those vows are stored in the energy grid. In your energy grid, they're stored in the chakras. And those have to be cleared, or they're going to continue to dictate your programming and dictate the choices that you make in your life. So, so part of what I get to do is to help people clear their old programming, their blocks, the things that keep them in resistance at the physical, emotional, mental, moral, and spiritual level. And, whether you ever choose to work with me at any level, I'm not attached to that. I'm telling you this so that you know that there are these 5 areas that you're programming. If you only clear it at the mental level, it's going to recreate it because it's hardwired into you emotionally and physically. If you only clear it at the spiritual level, the sanskaras, the imprints, are going to come back. Or if you clear them physically and emotionally and mentally, you do some really great therapy or, do a year's worth of programming, but you're not able to clear it at the spiritual level, it's going to recreate itself. You've got to clear all 5 levels. So embodying being an enlightening expert is about clearing all of your programming, all of your hindrances at every level of your being, and then stepping powerfully into your soul's purpose, communicating intimately with your higher self and that part of you that knows exactly why you came here and who your divine audience is and what the transformation you're here to deliver for them. And when you can do that powerfully and clearly, then you can design in alignment with your higher self your signature programs, and you can design marketing systems that are in line with your higher self and that support your soul's purpose, and that you're attracting easily and elegantly your divine audience who are hungry for the transformation that only you can provide. So, that's why I emphasize to you. So, there are 1,001 modalities of healing out in the world. But make sure that you're clearing all 5 levels of these intelligences in your life so that you can be free and clear to step up in the way that you want to. So let's see. Already talked about that. Big Al, Big Gay Uncle Al, healer and marketing strategist. So any questions about what we've covered? We've covered a lot of territory. We've been on this call for 1 hour and 45 minutes already, and I appreciate your attention. Thank you. So any comments or questions about what we've done so far? There's been some great comments of people coming in. Oh. Yeah, I think Gerhard, I totally believe. Gerhard says that the posture aspect is very interesting as I work in this area and learn that the effects of bad posture can affect so many aspects in the daily life. Yeah, and it's not just posture. I mean, posture is an important part of it. But, the muscles, the connective tissues, the fascia, the envelopes around the muscles themselves, they actually store energy. And they store imprints, and there's a number of body of works, which I recommend. I mean, I recommend everybody get Rolfed or some sort of structural alignment body work to help free up the fascia and allow the skeleton to return to its natural alignment. But even that doesn't completely clear all of the trauma that can be stored in the connective tissues of the body. So noticing your posture, getting rolfed, clearing the fascia connective tissues of your body, those are all important parts of just working with the physical intelligence. And from that place, then you start to develop your strength, your grace, your flexibility, your presence. So when you're working with all of those at the physical level, you've really become fit at a level that I love the phrase, to be fit to be useful. Be fit to be useful. So, it's great to have elegant posture and walking around and being present and embodied, but you also have the strength and agility to be useful when somebody needs you, whether that's diving in and being able to swim and help someone that's drowning, or there's a fire and somebody has to climb to the second story to help somebody out a window. There's levels of being fit to be useful. And it's my experience, and this is something I'm working on, it is the edge of my own personal mastery right now, because as many of you know that, I'm near 100 pounds overweight, and much better than it used to be. I've already lost 34 pounds, 39 pounds actually. So I'm still working on that edge, and that's just one piece of it. So any other comments or questions? I have technical, Garrett's saying I have technical mechanical solutions to help resolve these posture aspects. Beautiful. Okay, and somebody says thanks for the banner for my emails. It resonates with them. Grounding. Well, and that image and that banner actually comes from a picture in my book, Body Brilliance. It's filmed with beautiful, beautiful. So, okay, well, if there are no other comments or questions, then I actually am going to move into my invitation that I have for you. And it is my Enlightening Experts launch school. And when you join the school, you will be creating a world-class strategy for launching your Enlightening Expert signature program, product, and business. And so what is it? It's an 8-week online training where I will be working with you in a very small group. There are only 12 people that will be admitted to this program. So very, very small group. We will meet once a week on Thursdays at this same time, actually 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central, for 8 weeks starting next Thursday. And the benefits of this training is that you will have a world-class launch strategy so that you can double, triple, or even quadruple your email subscriber list. I'm going to do my very best to make sure that you can make 52 weeks worth of sales in 7 days. I'd love for you to be able to hit 6 figures in 6 days. Allow you to really step out of this curse of obscurity and to step into your own authority in your personal life and as an authority in the work that you do in the world. This will totally kickstart your business. People will be looking at you. They'll hear about you. They'll know about you on a whole different level. And once you learn this skill and once you start to implement this strategy, and my goal is to not only help you design one launch, but you have all the pieces that you need then to go and design your next launch for your next program. These really are templates that you can, it's a little more than cutting and pasting, but you can at least use them. Again, you're going to learn from an expert from the inside how you can do this for yourself. And so once you learn how to learn this skill of launching yourself, and I say once, twice, 4 times a year is plenty. If you're doing 4 launches a year, that's a lot. But it'll allow you to start to really attract other like-hearted business partners who want to support you as affiliates. So who is this program for? It's really for people who are ready to make a difference in their lives. It's for people who take action, for one thing. It's for people who have something that they've sold, whether it's been live in your corner of the world as a one-on-one expert, or an event that you sold, or if you've been able to sell it online with some limited success, but now you want to scale. I definitely encourage you, if you've got 3 case studies, particularly dramatic case studies for the program that you've taught in some way, form, or fashion, if you've got those 2 things and you're willing to invest in a team, invest for the strategy and the team that you need, investing for a team that includes me for at least the next 8 weeks to help you, then this is for you. If you're interested in growing a brand, creating a brand for yourself, if you are interested in having an impact in outside of your neighborhood or your town or your city, and you know that your sole purpose is to have an impact in the world and make a difference, then this program is for you. It's for you if you know that you are a leader, a charismatic leader, and that you're here to embody divine power and in divine creation. This is here for you if you really like creating, physical structures that allow you to start small and scale big. I love the phrase, small hinges swing big doors. And so when you learn these skills of how to launch yourself online, the doors that begin to open for you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you're willing to build the structures that support those small hinges to swing those big doors, then this is a program for you. So who is it not for? This is not for people who don't have a program yet. It's not for people that don't have 3 dramatic case studies based on their work. Now, there's an art and science of, I could say people, say you had a one-on-one coaching process, people buy a package of 10 coaching programs for you, and now you want to offer that as a group experience. Well, if you've got a lot of one-on-one clients who've had major experiences in transformation, then that's fabulous. Then you have the real potential then to take that and create a 10-week course that's based on your 10-step process. So there are ways to work with that. If you've got one-on-one success coaching people and giving them a transformation, you can absolutely tell their stories, even though they didn't necessarily take your group coaching program. With their permission, you can tell their stories, and you can illustrate how people have had experience for you. This program is not for you if you're not, it takes money to invest in a team, and it takes money to invest in a training like this. So if you're not to that place yet, then I say go out, master selling what you do in your corner of the world, and save the money so that you can genuinely invest in yourself and in your business in the way that you deserve to. But if you're not to that place yet, then this training is not for you. And it's also for people, I like to tell people that, when you come and you study with me, I'm as committed to your success as I want you to be. And so if you're not going to take action, if you're not going to take advantage of what I have to help you with and share with you, then this training is not for you. Because I want, the 12 people who step up and do this course to win, and to get all the benefits and more of what's possible from the Enlightening Expert Launch School. So if you are one of those people that you know, likes to make an investment but then find all the excuses why it won't work, or find all the excuses why the teacher or mentor is wrong, then this program's not for you. Now, there's a lot of ways that we can use to clear that crap, but if that's the kind of healing you need, go get that healing first and then come back and we'll talk about next year when I offer this course. So what you get is the 8-week online training, and actually let's go over what's in the 8 modules of the online training. And we're just going to go right back, and you're going to get a template. When you finish this 8-week training, you're going to have an actual world-class launch strategy, completely worked out and as implemented as possible. So module 1 is really looking at the high-level strategy. What is your Enlightening Expert Ascension? You know, as I said, a launch is not a business model. You know, you want to have one signature course or product that's important and that you're promoting, but where does it fit into the big picture of your business? Now, you don't have to have it all implemented, but I'm a firm believer that you should start with the end in sight. So if you know that you've got a course that you're going to sell online and that the next step for you is an online group coaching experience based on that at a higher level, it's like, okay, we'll write that down and we'll flesh out the basic details of it. And then from there, maybe it's one-on-one coaching at a higher point even from that. You know, it's important for you to know that if you're going to put all this energy into a product launch, how does it serve the overall flow of your business and where you want your business to be in 5 years or 10 years, so that we can strategically start putting that in place so that you have an idea of where all this energy and all this effort and this momentum is going to go. Module number 2 is still focusing on the high-level strategy. It's attracting your divine audience. Who are your perfect customers? Specifically for this program that we're launching, but also specifically who are the ones that are going to step up. When I worked with Lisa Sasevich, when we did our VIP day together, this is exactly how I started our time with them. And so if you know Lisa's business, you know that she has the Speak to Sell program. Then you come to a Speak to Sell live event as a bonus, and from that then she'll make an invitation to step up into what she calls her sassies, which the last time I checked was a $18,000 level and an $80,000 level. And so because she had that already in place, when we were attracting your divine audience, when we filled that out for her, we said, who are people who invested in Speak to Sell that ultimately invested in Sassy? And give me a man and give me a woman. We ended up with 2 men and two women. And so when we were designing the messaging and the story for the launch, we were speaking to those people, because they had already taken action. She already knew who her divine audience was at that level. And so we want to do that for you as much as possible, so to get you really thinking in the big picture for yourself and your business. And then one of the ways that we also design your messaging, which is the next module, is that we start to survey your customers and your subscribers. And then there's 6 basic questions that I ask. All right, so module number 3 is this is the final phase of the high-level strategy, and we start to pull together all the pieces and to create the story for your launch. Again, remember, I think in terms of a launch as a great novel or a Broadway play or a great epic movie, you know, and there's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So, you know, what's the story that's going to combine all of these elements of your launch and weave them all together? What are the 5 elements of a viral launch video that you have to have for all 3 of your videos? And then what are the 6 psychological triggers that we use in a launch, like anticipation and reciprocation? You know, a launch is an event and people are excited. They're taking part of something. They're engaged in a community, and they're seeing that other people are engaged in learning and having breakthroughs and moving along. So that's community and anticipation. And reciprocation is in your launch videos, you've given them 3 experiences for free that are helping them move their life forward. And they're seeing what an expert and authority you are. And so people genuinely want to give back to those people who've given to them. So those are just a couple examples of triggers that we weave into the pre-launch videos and into the whole launch itself. Module number 4, we actually move into the pre-launch now, and that is when you start to release, where we're designing the pre-launch videos, and the opt-in pages and the emails, and I have templates for all of those. I have designed over 70 launches for my clients and customers, and all but one of them in the spiritual and personal development phase. So I have templates for what goes in each of these videos, and what goes on the opt-in pages, and what goes in the emails that you send during the pre-launch sequence. So you get those templates as part of the training when we get to each module. All systems go. What are the 4 web pages that I mentioned that you need? The opt-in, the content delivery, the sales page, and the order form. So I've got templates for all those. The 3 systems we've already talked about, but you have to make sure that they're integrated and that they're all operating. Video delivery systems. Somebody mentioned about ways to use YouTube without the YouTube emblem. YouTube is not very good at tracking how many people are watching the video, how long they watch, when they stop, when they break down. That's why I recommend Wistia, because even though it's a paid video production, and if you have a really, really successful launch, it can be a chunk of change for the bandwidth. But Wistia gives you amazing tracking on exactly when people are watching all the way through your video and when they're abandoning your video. So over time, you can really look and say, hey, you know, wow, 50% of my people left this video at this point. What broke down here? Where did I lose their interest? Where did I, you know, take a wrong turn? How do I need to change my messaging? How do I need to change my delivery and reshoot this video so we don't lose 50% of people at this same point? So that's why YouTube ultimately is not a very good system in online marketing. I will give you a little caveat. There inevitably, for some reason, you know, Wistia does an amazing job. That's what I use personally, and that many people that I know use Wistia, Wistia.com. But inevitably, somebody in some corner of the world doesn't have really good access to the internet, or they've got an old computer or something, and they're not able to stream the videos. It is a good idea to have those videos uploaded on YouTube, and where you can send a link to YouTube. So just in case if all else fails, send them a YouTube link. But you don't want to be driving using YouTube embedded as best practices anyway. You don't want to be using YouTube for your video delivery. All right, module number 6. Houston, we have liftoff. This is when you actually get ready to open the cart. What is your offer? And I have templates, again, for how you create your offer. What are the open and closed events? I have templates for those. If you want to do a webinar, I mean, I have the template for this webinar. I have templates for webinars that have converted $100,000 at a time. You have the nuts and bolts template of how to design a webinar that sells. A cart close event, if it's a tapathon, I have a basic, it's a pretty simple outline of how you run one of those, but you've got it. You know, it's all been done for you. Your sales page, your sales video. I have templates on what's on a successful sales page, and I have examples of sales pages that have converted. The same for a video, and the email strategy that is in place for your cart open strategy. I have templates for those emails. Module number 7 is then how you max your orbit. It's what are your profit maximizers? What's the ascension strategy? What's the stick strategy for your customers that you already have? And then what's the engagement campaign for your new subscribers that haven't bought yet? And I've got that's an email campaign and a content campaign, and I have templates for that. And then module number 8, the big splash landing, that's your affiliate strategy, and that's when you start to go out to joint venture partners and affiliates. I have templates for the emails you can send, text that you can use, and scripts for the phone calls that you would want to follow when you're introducing yourself to new partners. So you have all that. So that's the 8 online modules, and that's what you'll get in the program. Let's see. Okay, so in addition to that, in the 8 weeks online, you get an Enlightening Experts Launch School Live, which is 3 days here in Houston with me, and we will just continue to fine-tune and rework and get your strategy where it needs to, and there'll be an emphasis on implementation. There'll be definitely chunks of time where you're connecting with your team, you're making sure that the languaging and messaging of your launch is updated for your opt-in pages. If you need help with video scripts, we're going to really make sure that at the end of the 3 days, you are going to have, a world-class launch. Now, this is a bonus. It's optional. You don't have to come to Houston. You're going to get everything you need in the 8 online modules. At the end of the 8 online modules, you will have a world-class launch strategy, guaranteed. But this bonus of the 3 days just helps you take it to another level and helps you dive deeper into the community of 12 people, the other Enlightening Experts who are going to be doing this with you. The bonuses are all the templates that you got, the pre-launch video content templates, opt-in pages, emails, content web pages, the templates for your offer, the cart open and close event templates, sales page video templates, email strategy templates, engagement campaign templates, and then affiliate emails, text, and scripts for phone calls to your partners, the templates for all that. You get those. I've had someone hire me for 5 calls on just how to implement the webinar, a sales webinar for an event. So, I know that people have paid $5,000 for 6 phone calls with me just to walk them through the webinar process. In addition to the world-class strategy, I'm also bringing the healing components into this. You get 2 priority healing and clearing sessions. So that's me on the phone with you in the group. They're different than our 8 online calls, where whatever your resistance is, we are going to focus on it and we're going to clear it for you and the entire group. So you get those in addition, and I will tell you that's the secret sauce that make the Enlightening Expert Launch School work. And then you also get my course, the Rainbow Light Body Repair course. It's a 5-week course, and it really is systematically a way of working with removing the external and then focusing on the priority internal blocks and resistance in your spiritual anatomy, your energy field. So you get that. That's highly recommended to do that, as much of that as quickly as possible, because one, you're going to just feel so different in your life, but it will certainly help you as you go through the launch school. Okay, and then as a graduation gift bonus, an extra bonus after that, at the end of our 8 weeks together, because doing that 8 weeks is going to be intense enough, and then when we all complete the program, as a graduation gift, I'm going to actually give you access to my Embodying Your Soul Purpose 12-week training, which I gave you examples of earlier. And for personal development, spiritual development, this is the peak of the pyramid right here. I've been I've been a healer and working in the healing arts since 1988. My spiritual practice and my spiritual curiosity started in 1978, and I've been learning and growing and healing ever since then. And so this program, this 90-day program, is the epitome of that, and you get that as a graduation bonus for the investment. So I'm about to enter a couple of links for you. I promise those of you that stayed on a bonus. So let me, you're going to see two links there that I just sent out to you. One of them is to my a free bonus for you just for staying on the program to this point. So it's a free gift to you. You can go, and it's a wonderful light and sound meditation to activate your 7 embodied chakras. So that's my free bonus gift to you for that. The link I also added there to the surveymonkey.com/r/launch-school. That's www.surveymonkey.com/r/launch-school. That's the application for you to fill out to apply for the school. So it's a $30,000 value. The 8-week training, you know that my VIP clients pay $20,000 for a blueprint with me. The live event, the 3-day live event, is absolutely worth $5,000. I've had people come to Houston and work on their launches for 3 whole days, and that's all they got. They didn't get the 8-week online training. They just came here and focused, and they paid $5,000 for that. And then with the other bonuses, it all comes to a value of $30,491 value. So I just want you to go back and think again about the formula for the high price of obscurity that you paid at the beginning of this webinar. Your monthly goal, what you actually earned last month, and the gap between. And if you're like most people, there's a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 gap between what they want to make and what they're actually able to make. And so the investment in this program is way less than the high financial price that you're investing. So, so that's that. So any comments or questions? I see a couple things have come in while I was speaking. Yeah. Gerhard said, yes, agreed on the analytics of video, though there are tools that can track how long videos are being watched, etc. I absolutely agree there are, and those are wonderful for people that can really afford a big team, and they can hire techno geeks that love that sort of thing and use third-party tracking. I like to try to keep it as elegant, as simple as possible, and that's why I like Wistia, because they give great statistics on how people are watching and where they're dropping off and that sort of thing. So let's see. How about using platforms such as JVZoo? So there's JVZoo, there's ClickBank, there are a couple of other, systems. And to be honest with you, I've never worked with them personally. I've bought a number of programs on JVZoo. I've bought several programs from ClickBank. They are, and I know several people who have $1 million businesses that they run through ClickBank anyway, and I would suspect JVZoo too. Maybe not 100% of their businesses are run through JVZoo, but at least their initial launch programs are. I don't know enough to comment about them, other than it saves you from having to deal with a merchant account and set up a merchant account and a bank account for your business. So but I work with people who I think if you are really serious about being an enlightening expert and you know that you have an offer that converts that could easily be $100,000 or $1 million offer, or you know that you've got $1 million business in you and a multi-million dollar business, then I say go do the work up front, get an automation system like Infusionsoft or Entreport or even one shopping cart. They all have their flaws. Andy Jenkins and Mike Filsame are just getting ready to launch Kartra, K-A-R-T-R-A, which I'm waiting with bated breath to see. Of course, I want to see how the kinks are going to be ironed out on a major platform like that. So, I say step up. So, any other comments or questions about the launch school? I know some of the questions that people ask, how much time does it take? And partially that depends on you. It's going to take time. It takes time to write and create this. Product launches, online marketing period is not for sissies. And I say that as big gay Uncle Al here. Because they are work. And it takes commitment and dedication, one, to learn how to do this and iron out the kinks to make it work for you. And stuff's going to come up. I'm a master at most of this stuff. And you saw what happened to me Monday night. I couldn't, Google wouldn't let me go live. There was no button to go live. And I know at least 14 other people that had that problem around the country. So it wasn't just me. Sometimes systems break down. Stuff happens. We have to reschedule. So that's that. And, it takes commitment and dedication. So yes, it's going to take some investment of your time and your attention. That's why I love doing the healing work in conjunction with the business strategy, because that part of you that is stuck in fear, that part of you that is committed to playing small, that part of you that consistently self-sabotages you, that can be healed so easily. It can be worked with so consciously that a lot of the source of that can be cleared. And that's why you get the Rainbow Light Body Repair course and you get the 2 healing calls with me. And then, when you come to the 3-day event in Houston, I predict that we'll do a fair amount of strategy work on your launch, and we'll also do healing to help clear the blocks and resistance that keep you from stepping up big in your way. So there's that. Let me see. All right. Gerhard said, I don't have the products yet either. Currently, I'm not in the space right now. I need to have my ducks in a row, and this is a good guideline to close the gap for another time. I would absolutely say that. The second part of your question, Gerhard, I already have one. Thank you. I've got a coach and an accountability partner and a new workout partner, so that's all going well. Thank you. And I will say, for those of you that don't have products yet, actually I'm going to be offering my signature course, Enlightening Expert signature course program, next month at the end of May. So for those of you that don't have a program yet, this is your opportunity to step up and create one. So if you've hung out this long for this call, I'm thrilled about it. And I can tell that you're ready and passionate about stepping up. So just stay tuned. You can do 2 things. You can actually fill out the application here and just let me know that you don't have a course yet, but you do want to talk about the course creation in May. or you can just wait and stay tuned and come on that program, because I'm actually going to show you exactly how an Enlightening Expert creates a course and distills your own personal story, your own personal message and mission, and creates a transformational process from that, and how you build a course on it, and how at the end of 60 days of 8 weeks you will actually have something that's designed and promoted, and you will have offered to your community, no matter how small or large it is, and you'll actually be teaching your course. So you'll have a course designed and sold and testing within 60 days. So that's coming up in May. So there's that. So let's see, any other questions? All right, well, I just thank everybody that has commented and hung in there. We've been here, I know, a long time. So thank you. I just so appreciate your attention and your comments. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So last call for comments or questions before I end this for all of us. Okay, beautiful. Let's see. So wonderful to have all this, to have all of you here all the way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking at the people who've made comments, asked questions, and things like that. So thank you. All right, well, if that's it, oh, wait a minute, let's see. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, fabulous. Can I email the link? So let me just repost this, Sydney. I'll make sure that you have those again. They should be appearing in the comment box for me. There's a link there that'll take you right there. You should have it. But yes, I'll email the link to everybody. And also your link to your kaleidoscopic chakra meditation is right there. That'll begin to help clear some of the blocks to you. So thanks very much, everybody. Sydney, would you just let me know, can you see that? Can you see the links that I just posted for everybody? Would you just enter that and let me know if you can see those links? And yes, I will email it to everybody just in case too, along with the link to the replay. Oh, you can't click on it. Okay, you can't. Can you cut and paste it? All right. Well, I will. Oh, I see. New phone. Okay. I forget about you folks that listen via your phones. Okay. So I'll make sure that we email this to everybody. So thank you for your time, your attention, and I really appreciate you. And you know, my friend Jeff Walker says that he believes that information marketers are the future of humanity, and you know, that small business entrepreneurs are the future of humanity, and I believe that. I believe that we're those of us that are in the spiritual personal development world, are a smaller piece of all of the entrepreneurs and information marketers and online marketers and business people that are operating in the world. But here's what I also know, that only 3% of the world's population is dancing around embodied enlightenment, and really embodying those principles of truth and integrity and compassion. And so those of you that are on your own spiritual journey and embodying your own spiritual awareness and your own enlightenment, and those of you that are creating businesses that allow you to do that and facilitate and help and heal other people and help them move to their own enlightenment, I think that we're going to have an especially important impact on the future of humanity. And I'm remembering a quote from David Hawkins, who wrote the book Power versus Force, that one person vibrating at a level of enlightenment, which on his scale of 0 to 1,000, 0 being death, 1,000 being the most enlightened a person can be vibrationally in 3D reality, Earth space, that people that at an enlightened experience are vibrating at 700 or above. That one person vibrating at 700 offsets 30,000 people who are still vibrating at a place of fear. So think about that. And as we, as enlightening experts, get more and more skilled at taking our mission and our message out into the world and using tools like product launches and evergreen webinars and, the step-by-step ascension model and live events and book launches and, whatever we happen to use, the marketing is not important. It's who we're being as we implement these schools and these skills and these talents that will make the biggest difference. And so as you are uplifting yourself and you are uplifting your clients and your students, that as we shift to that vibration of 700 and we individually offset 30,000 people living in fear, and then our students begin to step into their own embodied enlightenment, and as that ripples out and as we facilitate more and more circles of people, that we're going to go from 3% of the world's population dancing around enlightenment to eventually 10% of enlightenment. And I believe that enlightening people are so essentially important right now, but more importantly are the enlightened entrepreneurs, because we have bigger impact, bigger influence on our students and our clients. And so as we affect more and more, we're going to help lift all of humanity out of a place of fear and lack and poverty consciousness, and have a big difference. So that's what I would like to share with you and say with you. And that's why I think that why I think you're so important and so valuable. And that's why I think these skills, when they're combined with your soul purpose and with your intention and with your higher self, and when you're running your business from that, and when all of your marketing reflects that high frequency of who you're being, and then the transformation that you have on your students and your clients and your subscribers, whether they buy from you or not, it just uplifts all of us. And I think you guys are really especially the future of humanity. Because as you step out of obscurity and you step into your own inner authority, and then you eventually step into some level of celebrity, no matter how big that divine audience might be for you, then you're going to have greater and greater impact, and you're going to embody your soul's purpose and your mission and your legacy and why you were born to this life. And you're going to anchor in the possibility of what's possible for your soul in this body, in this life, and serving your divine audience. So I'm so thrilled that you're here, that you're still here, 2+ hours into this, 2.5 hours into it. Oh my gosh, thank you. So I so appreciate you for your time and your attention. And whether we get to work together or not, bless you, blessings to you. Please keep shining and find your way to embodying your soul's purpose, and find your way to sharing your mission and your message in the world in a way that speaks to your own level of integrity and truth and compassion. So at that point, I will say goodbye, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.